Okay, nerds, another AggroVine video for us today. 3 vigors in the sideboard, 1 main deck dismember, 20 of the lands today, 1 saga, 1 forest, 2 Yavimaya Cradle, 3 bloodghasts in a loam, 1 vigor main. That's, I think, the notables. I just played a league with this, went 2-3, wasn't great. But the general aim of this deck is to find Bazaar, activate Bazaar, dump all the power into play, and then disrupt with like collector roofs and life from the loams and that sort of thing. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, no, like a mono green aggressive Bazaar deck with a little bit of disruption to push over the line, but not a lot. We're up against Respect the Cat. They play magic decks. I don't know which ones, but I'm sure we'll find out. So yeah, I quite enjoy this list. With the 1 saga, I think it's quite funny. We didn't play saga before, but I think maybe now we can actually. That's my general thought. Before, like, maybe we could have played it before, right? You don't have to play saga as a 4, but obviously it's better too. Same rules apply mostly, in that we're going to powder and mulligan and stuff to find out Bazaar of Baghdad. But there will be some games and some matchups where that's not the case. So here we're down to 6 and we're going to powder these away. I think in the dark we're just supposed to keep like a collector roof or something. I think that's the most heavily disruptive one. This hand doesn't do anything, but it's one that's like, it's a consideration. If this is just a forest, Charity on 0, play forest, play lizard, play collector roof, wasteland, and you. That can close out some games. Let's go to 5. We've got a Bazaar, 2 hollow ones, and a bunch of crap, so that's cool. Let's put back the 2 cards that don't do anything with Bazaar of Baghdad, and then check out what happens. 2 easy discards, 2 hollow ones. Over to our opponent. Are they Doomsday? No. Bug? Oath? Oath would suck. We can't beat Oath. Merchant Scroll. Show me. Ancestral. Okay then. So we'd love to hit our misstep here. That would be kind of dopey. You've just got to pay the subscription and it will all come through, So let's discard Bloodghast. And I guess regretfully it's going to be the currency converter, right? Or is it just the saga? Maybe it's just the saga. I don't know. Saga is a lock to bring back 2 Bloodghasts. I think it's got to be the converter. And now let's cast a hollow one. And see what the opponent wants to do. They've only got 5 cards left. On there's a Ancestral Recall. Hollow one's in. Cast another hollow one. Hollow one's in. Cool. So this is the beatdown that we are currently bringing. They're going to probe us, and we're just going to let it go. Look at my Ancestral. Look at my misstep, sorry. Come up with a plan for your Ancestral. So opponent's got 6 cards. We still don't know what deck they're playing. Hercules recall me. That's distressing, really, isn't it? That's a funny card. Polluted Delta comes in. I've got a misstep. They know I've got a misstep. We're just going to basically discard the 2 cards we draw. I think that still remains true. Is it though? Do we need a saga for anything? Discard Wasteland or discard Saga? I guess we come off Saga because the cradle's already cracked. Because, yeah, then I can start pumping lizards. I think that's better than the Saga countdown. Cast a hollow one. Cast a hollow one. Play a wasteland. Bring back 2 bloodghasts. You'll go. Do you want to bink a C? Yeah, let's bink a C. Why not? So, Guy's Cradle off the top next turn kills. And let's see if our opponent can come up with anything good. Underground C, Underground C. Tinker? Dig through time. Interesting. So what gets them out of this then? I mean, they're still due another turn, actually. Our board's pretty good. Pretty offensive. So 14, they go to 3. We just really need that cradle, right? So we'll have 2 cards after our draw step, so we can always spin into a cradle. If they play a Lotus and pass, we just can't activate. They didn't, they just passed the turn. So how many cradles have we got left? 2 Yavimaya cradles. No, 2 Guy's cradles. And it needs to be Guy's cradle. 1 pump isn't enough. But Seiju doesn't do it, so let's activate. And we win. There they are. I only need 1 of them. Pump this nerd. And we win. Yeah, nice. I only needed 1, but we were provided both. So, what do we think they're doing? Generic combo crap? Bring in a Vigor, bring in a couple of traps. Cut a Dismember, cut a Bloodghast, cut a Hexdrinker. I don't know. Sounds fine. Okay, game 2. We've been provided this crap Bazaar hand, but a crap Bazaar hand is a Bazaar hand nonetheless. We've got a bit of protection. We can dig for green. That's 1. That's 2. Better believe I'm going to trap their brains out. Fetch, 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 fetch. Manifold key, wow, cool. And the passing of the turn. I don't know where I stand on trapping manifold keys. It doesn't sound particularly great. Green card? No. Let's go digging then. Still no green cards, wow. So powder, cradle, powder. Cast Mox Emerald. Cast Currency Converter. Pyong pyong. The converter's so sick, man. They've got quite a busted opener though, so I don't know how much we'll get to do with it, but that looks problematic. Yeah, I just can't beat that, can I? Shit. Well, maybe I am supposed to just spew the trap then. Cool. Wow. I didn't think so. I just assumed I'd hit a green card. I play 90 of them, right? Like, looks like a matchup that I think is going to be good though. So let's get those boys in here. Let's cut the Hexdrinkers because they're actually kind of slow and dirtily. I could have added the other Boseiju, instead I've just expanded the size of my screen. I would like to keep this hand because it looks insane. Fuck me, the police are going off today. Yeah. Discard cards that are bad. Cast cards that are good. We will hold Mox Emerald. We will hold Mox Emerald. Because these guys are all getting pitched, right? These are all happening. Oh man. Why do bad things happen to good people? I literally thought you can Emerald to play around tab, but oh well, never mind. I guess we can activate now. Lizard. Trap. Lizard Emerald. Vigor. Lizard Emerald Vigor. Cast a Lizard. Play a Boseiju. Bring back a Bloodghast. Work towards Hogak. I could have dumped Hogak in play, but I would have had to go through a Collector Roof. I could have so easily put that Emerald in play. Island, yeah. Soaring's fine. And it's to us. We'll keep the Bloodghast in play. Thank you very much. Can't pay for the Lizard. Activation's risky. Activation's awful. Maybe it's not awful. It does provide us with a Hogak at the very least. And it's like a perfect Hogak as well. Look at that. We leave our good cards in our graveyard. Now I've just got Vigor Trap for them. And if Hogak gets to stay in play, it's not going to be long before these Bloodghasts are hasty. Opponent has got 6 cards. That's why I've been like kind of nervous to deploy this Collector Roof. They're going to untap their Soul Ring, and that's just going to be what they do. So it's like a PO list then, I guess. We'll pay for the GAC. I can't imagine activating this scenario. I don't want to Dredge Loam, no. I mean, I could Dredge Loam as a pitch spell, right? Opponent's turn again. They fall to 11. If they fetch on their turn, the Bloodghasts become lethal. Right, the Bloodghasts are in fact lethal at this point in time. How do you play though? That's the question. How do you play? They're vamping for thingy. And it doesn't work again. I'm just a spell short. So I could kill these 2 lands. I think I go now, because if they vamped for control magic, permission, then we get in before the vamp permission enters their hand. So they float some mana, they activate some manifold keys. Is this just like hardcast Force of Will? It looks like it could be. And just letting it resolve. So we've got 3 mana floating in there. Upkeep. 5 mana. Dig through time. So then they can dig through the vamp we just countered. This is sweaty as shit, really, isn't it? So I think we successfully countered that Time Vault threat for now, except for Lotus York will bring back a key, play a Time Vault, play a land. But then on our turn, we've got an activation and we can activate to find a land if we get a turn. We've also got trap on this turn, possibly. So they take a draw step. They've got 5 cards in hand, 6 after the draw. 1 spell cast from the opponent this turn. And this is the thing with AggroVine, is you don't have any blowout games, really. You just always have to just sit here and sweat your opponent's last 2 turns to see if you've done enough. They're paying costs. So now this trap can't hit the probe, but now they know they've got to play around a trap as well. And they didn't have Force of Will at the beginning of their turn. They have seen 4 new cards this turn. I guess we trap this. They've got a Force of Will, pitching Mystical Tutor. So they've got to have a line to a kill here, right? Black, York Will back the key, land, yeah, they've got it all. Oh, Psychic Frog. Psychic Frog doesn't do it if I hit a land. The Gak tramples, right? No, I just want to look for lands. Lotus is not a land. What does this do? Delve, Convoke, Trample, yeah. Okay, so land we win. No land we might still win, actually, because they've not got a lot going on. Shit. I'm just going to play Chalice as a Void and attack for 8 then. That gets the 1 card out of their hand. Okay, I think we're fine. They've got to discard their card to stay alive. It's an Urza Saga. 3 and 5, yeah, that's great. You're at 1. Just in case you have any Yawgmoth top deck ideas. Squeaky chair. Cool, extend the sweat. They're on 0 cards and an extra turn. Draw step, and then just concede, right? Just politely concede the game. Sure, a redraw. Eat something and draw again. Yeah. Tell me the 1-mana spell that deals with Hogak in this format. That's not already in play. Yeah, sick. Cool match. Maybe I should have trapped on game 1, or game 2, sorry, but I don't know, it doesn't look like the sort of thing you want to trap, does it? It just looks so mediocre. If you trap it and then they're just like, okay, yeah, cool. Crypt Tinker. Right, anyway. Let's go to round 2. Okay, nerds, next round, and we're up against Guy Yusti, who's revealed a companion, and it's Lurus. Okay, so something a bit different. Jokes. We'll keep this hand. We've got a Bizarre, Vengevine, Bloodghast, a Hollow one, and hopefully 2 more Hollow ones from the top of our deck. Let's see what sort of Lurus are on. Scalding Tarn, go Lurus. Okay, interesting. I literally can't tell you what that means. Lizard? Lizard. Easy gaming. 2 more Hollow ones. Generally quite unlucky if you ask me. This is one of the downsides of playing the old AggroVine. I think they were like 16 lands, 17 lands. Not many at all. We're playing 20. Which I kind of like quite a lot, to be honest. Next turn we're going to go Cradle, Besage your Tinker target and kill you, something like that. Or we can just Wasteland their 1-off Saga. Or Cradle Collector, something like that. I don't know. We've got lots of options going into next turn. We're going to have 4 mana. But potentially. Depends on if they kill stuff or not. Fetch. You on Tundra? Tundra. Tundra's for plows. Tasty stuff. Okay. So are they Esper for the frogs, or are they just like not about that? Urza's Saga, yeah, naturally. Why wouldn't they have an Urza's Saga? They can't have anything here though, right? They don't have any good cards. Oh, I guess they've got Containment Priest. And we can't really play around that, can we? So let's activate the Bazaar. They can't have Containment Priest, what are we talking about? Bizarre Forest, Yavimaya Cradle. No, Lizard Forest, Yavimaya Cradle. That gives us backup Bizarre and a bunch of other powerful lands. Obviously this turn we're kind of forced into Wastelanding the Saga though. They've got 5 cards in hand. So they float this like a Lorien, again underground sea, so they do look to be frogging. We have a Bloodghast though. That Bloodghast is likely to do something like, well, the Bloodghast is going to attack, but the future looks like something like Saga into Cradle. So we've got the sea. Espelurus. Black and blue makes a Psychic Frog. Cool. Do we want to attack? We use our Hollow one. Well, if Hollow One and Bloodghast go in, then we might just get 3 cards out of their hand. And that sounds really quite good. Or we just get in for 6, and then we get a creature cut the Bloodghast back. I imagine a world where I'm supposed to activate here, though. Like, not now, but like post-combat, I think. Maybe if I'm activating, it's supposed to be pre-combat, actually, now that we get to this point. If they trade 3 cards for a frog, for Hollow One, that's like... That's got to be good for us, right? This is one of the things I'm struggling with the frog, right? So we've obviously not played these Vine decks against frog much, because frog came out with Bauble. But like, how good is it for us if they're discarding 6 cards and making a fucking 4/5 or something, 3 cards and making a 4/5? How bad is that for us? I don't know. A bit laggy there on the card switching modo. Not ideal for the habituals, I'm afraid. Yeah, it seems slow. So we're in combat. I thought we passed blockers by now. Opponent trying to weigh up whether the 3 cards in their hand are better than a Hollow One. I can't imagine a world where that can be true, so it's probably better to discard those 3 cards. But some people don't think Hollow One is the best thing to be doing with your life. So let's see. Oh no, damage step, nice. So they took the damage and went to 8, right? And if we were to activate, we'd be discarding Vengevine for 4, for sure. Ooh, I can't cast. Oh, hang on a minute. I had Cradle cast Vengevine. That's not very clever. Fuck, I'm stupid. Oh, that was dumb. Let's play another Saga then. So when you're watching and you're thinking, why doesn't he just play Cradle and cast Vengevine? It's because he can't count to 4. Literally didn't see the line of tap my land and cast my spells. That's how deep into the bizarre trench my mind is that I can't see tap land cast spells as a line of play. Oof, tough beats. Right, I still think we're doing fine though. Lurrus Saga, unlikely to be the most combo-y list out there. They might have a Time Vault key. They don't look particularly close to doing that. If they do have Time Vault key, we've got a flick into a Vigor or something. So let's see. Right, so I don't know if I've said this already, and I apologise if I had, but it's so hot today. I literally don't remember a time where I've been more uncomfortable with the weather. I've got a new flat and I moved into it because it's got lovely views, but those lovely views are because they've got large windows, and those large windows really do like the sun. So they're going to walk here. We can't really respond to a walk, so we'll let them do it. That means they're probably going to exile 3 cards and grab themselves a card. I think that's fine. What else are you doing? Oh man, the Lurrus gamers aren't fast, are they? They are not fast. I will chump if they let me. You've got to take to this guys here, otherwise this attack makes no sense. Okay, well, this attack makes no sense. To me, at least. To me, that makes no sense. So we're in our end step. And it's their turn again. Tap lands, cast spells. A bit too difficult, I'm afraid. Bit too difficult. It's interesting as well because I wonder if they're just going to come in. They're just going to come in like this. Psychic Frog. Can I block? Yeah, right. No cards for you, sir. That's pretty cool. They're just going to let us have it all. I know I can't cast Vengevine now. It's better than them having cards, I think, is my point of view. So Mishra's Bauble. And they Bauble me. And then... oh, the suspense. And then they Treasure Cruise. Okay. Treasure Cruise. Nice. 5 cards in hand for the opponent. A nice cheeky reload. They found another plow. No, they found a Lorien revealed. For an underground sea. They got a sea and nothing else. So they can push. Or Bloodcast, I guess. Let's have a quick look and a quick peek. Nothing for us there. So let's discard Bazaar, Cradle, Boseiju, yeah. And let's attack for 6. In we go. Kapow. We'll play Cradle. Which produces 2 mana. Which is the precise amount we need to activate our Saga. I wonder why I didn't discard Vengevine last turn. Right, I think this is going to be the last game I play today, because I am not at all present. Lavinia, Azorius Renegade, yeah, fine, for sure. Psychic Frog, yeah. That's 3 blockers. And a Caracas available. So then we can go to our draw step, draw a Force of Vigor. Doesn't really do much, does it? Maybe I want to activate the Bazaar first then. See what we're working with. Vengevine. So if we discard Vengevine, Bazaar, Powder, tap this for a colourless. Grab ourselves a Mox Emerald. Yeah, yeah. You've got counters on your frog. Oh, you're playing around a needle? Sure, man. I'm just killing you. Yeah, yeah. Your frog's thick. Misstep's gone. Force of will's gone. What about the other frog? So you need a friend? Yeah. Luring rod. Okay, so they're hellbent, so we win. Nice. Mox Emerald, right? Oh, funny. Mox Emerald and Haywire might are the same thing in this spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, cool. So I'm just gonna get the emeralds. That's fine. Let's not show them the might. Let's cast Hex Drinker. Let's cast Vengevine. Trigger the other Vengevine that we just discarded, and then we've got 5 lethal attackers. Crunch, crunch. Fire truck wins. Cool, so I think we were winning that anyway. It didn't really matter, did it? None of their cards were actually relevant in that end spot. Frogs and Lavinias. I don't know what this Beseiju does actually. Also, it's my Magic Online that just can't cope. Maybe it's just the Dismembers then. What do we cut? Hextriggers look fine. Vigors look fine. Does the Vigors look fine? What are they going to have post-board? They've got Lurus, they're going to have Needle. So maybe I can just... I've got 3 Beseijus already. What if I bring in the other Beseiju? And I cut like... Chalice. Bloodghast. We've only got the 1 Gak in this list. Maybe the Collectrix are just nonsense. I think we can trim one, I don't know. Just make space for another Disenchant. Okay, this works. I pressed Mulligan. That's unfortunate. I powdered it. That's even worse. 2 Bazaars. Well, that was a cool misclick. It's fun, enjoyable, good magic. We'll keep this one though. All our hopes into a Hex Drinker. See if they can beat it. Pearl Tundra, nothing. Wasteland your Tundra. You float a mana. Cyclolorian. Get an Underground Sea. Cool. Cast a Pearl. Drink hexes and pass. I may have actually just written off this game in my mind just where I accidentally clicked the mulligan button on my 2 Bazaar Saga hand. Don't mind if I do. Two Bazaars, not good enough. I need a Savannah Lion. Yeah. Mistakes get made, sometimes you misclick. Opponent has an Underground Sea in hand, 6 other cards, or 5 other cards. They've got Tabernacle at Pendle Vale. Sure, bro. I will pay. Let's play Beseiju. Counters on or Hex Drinker to play? I guess Hex Drinker to play, and then we can do some counters on shit next turn, because I've got a Cradle. In for 2. We've also got like Dismembers for frogs. I can give a frog -10, -10, which I'm going to put forward and say that they can't make their frog survive that. Okay. We've got a Wasteland for my Besage, so they're going to kill one of my things. Yeah, that's fine. So let's pay for one and not for the other one. Play a Cradle, pump the kid. Attack for 2. We need to hold that underground sea. There's the sea. Have they got anything else? Not just yet. I'll pay the 1. And I'll attack first of all, and then we'll pump later. So if we attack now, if they flash in a Containment Priest to try and block, we can kill it. And then we can pump now. We draw a Misstep, which is going to be a pretty big game for the Plough that they're sandbagging here. Oh, whoops. Whoops. I assumed they would wait a turn, but no. Spell Pierce, sure. Cool. Right, we can go to the next one now, because I don't have any cards that I can play. Because I mulliganed my 2 Bizarre hand accidentally. I just don't think any of their cards really matter. I think the Collector Roof's a noise. But I want a couple, just in case they're trying to Vault Key me, I don't know. Doesn't look like they're particularly reliant on artifacts, right? As we saw to the latter end of the Bauble format, right? So let's just really focus here. Have Bazaar, click keep. Fucking nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. But how do you play? Let's just go Cradle Hex Drinker first of all. And now my opponent's thinking like, oh, do they think this is how they beat the Saga matchup? Like, well, not the Saga, the Lurrus matchup, I guess. Sorry. I guess our terminology has all changed now. Oh, that's not good. I'm going to see Black Lotus. They've got a Lurrus over here. Lotus and Tank is the play. Psychic Frog comes in. Pithing Needle comes in on Hex Drinker. Yeah, got him. Got him so fucking hard as well. It's so funny. ATAC. You eat it up. It's so free to do. You just block and put a card into your graveyard. It's never been more free. Dig through time. Off you pop. Blockers declared. Dismember the cast. Crunch, crunch. I mean, they can still force it, right? But this whole game's been very funny to me. Oh yeah. And now they've got a Pissing Needle on Hex Drinker, and I've got a fucking Bazaar of Baghdad, so... And we get 2 lizards, discarding powder, back up Bazaar. Opponent's got 3 cards, and a needle naming Bazaar of Baghdad. Needle naming Hex Drinker. And this all comes from the fact that last game I accidentally mulliganed and powdered visibly to my opponent 2 Bazaars, and then this game decided to lead on Hex Drinker, because I think it's just good to like power it out sort of thing. This is all too funny. So let's draw. Go and see if we can find ourselves a Besagi or some crap. Bloodghast, Strip Mine. I'm actually going to discard this Bazaar of Baghdad, I think. And then we're going to Wasteland the... Oh, I get Bloodghast. Yes, please. And we're going to Wasteland the Caracas, because that's the card that casts Plough. I will send my Hex Drinker in there with Glee. Opponent's got 2 cards, 1 land. That land's getting stripped next turn as well. This is the sort of game where if we find our loam, we're just going to absolutely dominate, I think. 2 cards, another. So, provided we fade Frog here, we're kind of gaming. Lizard. Let's strip mine them and see if they're bowmastering. Possibly bad, possibly supposed to just attack first. Nope. Didn't even float it. In come these guys. And down comes a green lizard. Tolarian Academy. So maybe my collectors were actually phenomenal the whole time. Two mana for a Phantasmal Image on Hex Drinker, Bloodghast, Lizard. Hex Drinker, funny. A Hex Drinker that you can't activate, mind you. One card in hand. The question is, how do you play here, right? So if we unlock the Plough with the Besagi, it's really bad. I think we could just attack with everything. There's not a blazing. I think that's better. And if they trade the Hex Drinkers, we know not to kill the... We know not to kill the Pissing Needle? I don't know. Because whilst the Academy taps for just 1 mana, the Hex Drinkers trade, that's fine. Whilst the Academy taps for 1, it's worse than Tundra. And I think I will pump in 5 of them here. I think I care about my Bazaar activations. My lands look really good, the ones I got in my hand. So let's play Cradle and pass. Lotus is gone and they haven't bought Lura, so they've just got one card. And we need to be really careful with our Boseiju just because it's a Tundra for them. If they want it. Seems like a good draw. I found the line today though. This time around. Tap lands and attack. And we win the match. Man, AggroVine's so funny. So funny, such a funny deck. Oh god. Needle your Hexdrinker. I'm not saying it's wrong. And the way we kind of accidentally just conditioned our opponent across games 2 and 3 there, we made it inadvertently look like we think that's what matters, right? But game 2, I just misclicked Mulligan and shipped my 2 Bazaars away and then played 2 Hexdrinkers, right? And it looks, when that happens, like I'm just like, Bazaar doesn't matter in this matchup. It's all about the drinkers, right? And then game 2, I didn't really feel like I had the best Bazaar action on 1. So I played a Hexdrinker. Seems great. And it looks like that's what I think matters. And here we have a Needle on Hexdrinker. Now, I'm not saying it was bad. Like, you know, maybe I run away with that game if they don't do that. However, we had Bazaar all along. Anyway, enough rambling about how I misclicked. It was all very funny to me though. See you for round 3. Okay, kids. So round 3 it says here, and we've got a die roll against Ruzapia. And we've got a Bazaar, and I think this is quite a good Bazaar hand, so I won't mulligan it. 2 Vengevines and a Bloodcast, and then Dream going into turn 2, I imagine. Unless we draw like Lotus Lizard or something like that. Bazaar. Activate. Vengevine, Vengevine, Vengevine. Cool, I'm into it. I will develop the Emerald because Bauble still exists. And this is one of those hands where we are grossly overexposed to a wasteland here, aren't we? Oh, and everything got a bit bigger. Are you gonna come back, Modo? Yeah, good Modo, well done. That was close. No Lurus. Oh, a mocked Emerald game there. Underground Sea, so like bug then I guess. We're gonna get Bowman. How do you play? Do you Wasteland and see if they float black? And if they do, pass. Right? And then activate afterwards. Or we could play Wasteland. Cast Collect Roof. Move to combat. Because they'll have to float an Emerald. And then we get to kill their Emerald mana. And then flip. Yeah, that sounds really good actually. So we play Wasteland. We cast Collect Roof. Opponent is forced to float mana off Emerald. And then if they've got the Bowmaster, they kind of have to flash it in when we pass priority. And then, sorry, I'm still thinking out loud about how this plays. Yeah, and then if they do flash it in, we activate Bazaar, and if they don't flash it in, we activate Bazaar at the beginning of combat step, because then any lizard makes a Vengevine. Both of these plays work, but one of them ends up with us having a Collector Roof in play. Modo's died. Okay, I think that makes sense. So there's a Wasteland. I'm just going to go with this first. Force of Will. Okay. How do you play? I think I just pass now. Nah, I should still flip, right? Even if they thingy me, they bowman us now. Oh, they didn't. Okay, well, we did a lot of thinking for no reason. Here comes my lizard, and here comes my 3 penjoins. Cool. It's fine. A lot of thinking for a spot that didn't really matter, apparently. I don't know, I think you can do either of those, but the Collect Roof gives us that first spell, right? To play around the Bowmaster. So that was cool. What are they playing? Anything. So we'll bring in the spell, land, we'll take out the chalice on the draw. We'll bring a Dismember and 2 traps. So that's 3 in, because I've already sideboarded 1 out. I think we can assume that we don't need a Bloodgast. Oh, Vigor actually. No. Yeah, so maybe not the traps. That's 63. So not the traps and cut a Hex Drinker. We've got 2 Vigors. 4 Besages total. Yeah, cool. These cards don't do anything. Still take a mulligan. These cards do a lot. And we've got a misstep, so we'll keep this, bottom the powder, and ship it to the opponent. They mulligan to 6. They have Saga. Cool. Mana Crypt, yeah. And pass. So one of my 2 Vigors peeling off the top here would be pretty tasty. Dismember. Lizard. Lizard. Solar Effect add? That seems fine. Oh, the game is breaking. So I don't feel particularly good about our position here. Our opponent's going to get to make Saga tokens, and then they're going to get like busy with tutoring and stuff. So we might have like 1 more activation in us before we're like completely dead. Next turn we can just develop the forest and play the Hex Drinker as well. Maybe we're able to knock out the first token with a Dismember or something. Tundra. So it's just going to be like an Esper Tinker deck then, I guess. Also, they're not making tokens. They're time walking into the tutor faster plan. Okay, so like we might be able to beat 1 token. I don't know what the tutor's getting though. That's the thing. Because if it's getting just a Manifold Key, then we're dead. Hopefully they draw Manifold Key. Interesting time walk, right? Because they killed a token of their own to cast Time Walk. It's time they do make the token. And they get Pithing Needle, that's fine. I think that's fine. Saga dies, you've got a 3/3 and a ruby. 3 cards in hand, and a sea, and a White Plume Adventurer. Annoying that we've got the forest here already. If we can draw the second Dismember here, we should be like just absolutely golden. So we've got the Avamaya, which makes the Bazaar make mana. Opponent's got a basic land in hand, which doesn't matter. Hollow one wasn't the draw. So Yavimaya, cast Hex Drinker, dismember this guy, and then just pass the turn, I presume. And try and race. We've got one card in hand, one of them's two cards in hand, one of them's a basic planes. They put counters on the Undercity, on the White Plume dude. And we need them to lose a flip or two here. They did lose that one, which means we're going to get in for some damage next turn. Oh no, we're not. They've got a fucking 5/5. That guy untaps. Maybe I killed the wrong thing. But the problem is if I leave the other guy in play, he just keeps growing. Oh, DT. That sounds crap. Crap for me. DT into Tinker. Tinker for Sphinx. And now we need to find a Boseiju. And a Tabernacle. Okay. Block this then. Okay, what do we want to do? Pay for this one, I think. And then let the lizard go. Dismember. We'll kill this. We take 5, and then we take 6, we go to 1, and then we need to top deck a Boseiju next turn, so we can't misstep anything. They've got basic planes in hand. We have to top deck a Boseiju to kill the Sphinx. And they do pay the 1 on the Sphinx. Controversial. That's the card we knew about. And we just need to top deck Boseiju, who endures here. No real other way around it. I can't block. Cool. If they have any follow-up here, it's just over. We'll tap the Bazaar to keep the dude around. Yeah. Boseiju? No. Okay, that's fine. Chalice in. Dismember in. Figures in. Hex Drinkers can go. I think Hogak. And a Bloodgast. 21 lands is a lot, but they're introducing the initiative. We need to force the Sphinx. Do I need 4 Vigors for this shit? Probably. Maybe a Lizard and a Bloodgast, a Lizard and a Hogak. Let's just cut the Hogak. It's so hard to get the Hogak going. And Hogak's not even a trump for Sphinx to still wind either. So nothing here, just death. So we'll mulligan. Oh no, nothing here either. Cool. We'll keep this. Bottom Vigor. And we'll bottom Cradle. And say done. We'll play the Bazaar and just give it a spin, milling these 2 cards that we draw. Maybe that's not true. Maybe we'll just discard the Emerald instead. And pass a turn. So if they're Grafdigger's Cage, it's really punishing. Wasteland doesn't really do much. Well, it doesn't do much, but you know what I mean. So Cradle gets back Bloodghast, and then we can cast a Haywire Might. And be about as dirtly as you can get in a game of Vintage. They've got 5 cards though. We've got Dismember here. So we've managed to present threats, if that's what you can call them. Underground Sea, Psychic Frog. We'll attack for 2. They block. They've got to discard a card. And they discard a Force of Will. I'll dismember. Frog dies, Bloodghast survives. I might Haywire Might there. Sapphire here, they've got 3 cards in hand. Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to pass the turn. That was a really aggressive Haywire Might use, but I'm here for it. We'll hold Boseiju, we'll attack for 2. Yeah, this could be really bad. This doesn't look good for us, and they're still hitting lands, so... One Bazaar and we're back in the game. I've just not missed a land drop. Got 3 cards in hand. Got a Plough? Oh, Swords Plough is my guy. Sure. 3 cards for the opponent. Jesus Christ. I'm going to play that Cradle. And the reason I play the Cradle is because then if we draw a Bazaar, we're future-proofed against Tabernacle at Pendlevale. No. I think I'll hold that. Strange game. They just weren't able to follow up with anything just yet. They fetch a Tundra. They get a Mystical Tutor. They have Tinker, I guess. Okay, so upkeep, we've got to get rid of the Vengevine, unfortunately. Now we're dead to a top deck Mox. Unless we find our Bazaar, right? Because our Bazaar puts 2 creatures in play, which means our Boseiju's awake. There's a Lizard. So let's go Chalice. On 0. I'm going to develop the Boseiju to cast the Lizard. Oh. Oh well, my Cradle's tapped, who cares? This is a bit aggro, but DT. Ugh. Not good. Especially since I just threw away my Besaju to make a 1-1. You've got a Soul Ring, which lines them up for next turn. So we've got a Collector Roof, which doesn't really work, does it? Shit. So what can I do? I can Collector Roof. I can cycle Hollow One. Cycle Hollow One. Find a Wasteland. Play a Wasteland. Imagine I'm Wastelanding here. Get in for 1. We can cast Collector Roof next turn, but we need to find another Besaju because I punted this one away. There's 4 in the deck post board, right? I have got them all in. Yeah. That's annoying. Sphinx is in. Lizard. Collector Roof. The second Lizard there might have been a mistake, just because I've now not got cards in my hand. I've got 4 cards in theirs. Force a Vigor. Okay. Can't do that. Yeah, I'm not sure how I've played this, to be honest with you. The earlier Vigor was forced. Then deploying the Lizard to try and build into the game. I don't know about that. Oh, that's really problematic. That's really problematic. Now I can't cast the Seiju. They cannot let me have this cradle. That is not a thing that can happen. Yeah, absolutely. Could have floated, but we've all got lives to live. Cool, and then we're dead, right? There's no more draws in our deck. Yeah. Annoying. Annoying. The thing is, if I'm just sat here doing nothing, I know they're at 26 when they die, but if I'm just sat here doing nothing, I'm never winning, right? Yeah, I didn't draw another mana producing land. Other than Besaju that whole game. And I've got 4 of the fucks. Yeah. Okie dokie, nerd core. So round 4, following day for me, we're on the play against Scalo 94. What have we got? It's quite dark, and maybe I need to close the window. There's a bizarre Baghdad and mental misstep, so let's keep that. And like a turn 3 Collect Roof. It doesn't sound great, but sounds like what we're working with. No lures revealed. I've got a feeling they usually play like PO style decks, if that makes sense. Just, I don't know, just big mana, big blue, tinkery type nonsense. So I'm gonna get Vengevine, or Serum Powder, Vengevine, and then one of the other lands, I think. I feel like Misstep's a bit good. Collector Roof could be a bit good. If I discard the Bazaar and just get wasted, then we like die insanely hard, right? So maybe it's supposed to just be Misstep. Nah, I think I'm just gonna discard the Bazaar. Keep the 2 lands which cast Collector Roof. Yeah, I don't know if that's good. I don't like it, but I think that's the way forwards. So Chalice goes onto the stack. Opponent has no Moxen. So this is when they're just gonna be bugged. I'm just gonna get wasted and die. But why was I so attached to my wasteland? Oh yeah, it taps for 1. That's why. That's why I was so attached to it there. Tundra. Soul Ring. Misstep your Soul Ring. Wasteland your Tundra. Seems like a game plan. Oh, no, it doesn't seem like a game plan. Sorry, my bad. I'll sell like a Tinker Initiative Tinker style thing. They've just pitched a Narset Parter of Veils. Oh, that was a lot of artifacts. I'd like Yapamaya Cradle, please, sir. It's a Hogak. Do we have realistic activation outs here? Probably. Probably. So I can't cast spells. So I just got Hogak, Force of Vigor, Wasteland. And I'll just play my Wasteland. And hope that they don't do anything too powerful this turn. And if they do, they do. And if they don't, we'll cast a Collector Roof. So, since it's Divining Top, and they take a look, they've got 2 cards left in hand, they've got 4 mana left over. So if they find a PO here, we probably lose. We haven't made a land drop. Yeah, I think we're back. I don't know if I got the beginning of this game. I don't know what happened, but my recording software just completely shut itself. Where are we now? We're on turn 3. Just as a recap, turn 1 I played a Bazaar and activated it. I discarded Vengevine Powder and another Bazaar. I developed a Wasteland on my turn 2 and a Chalice on turn 1, sorry. And our opponent's got all of this nonsense over here going on. So they're on a PO style list. They've got 1 card in hand. They've had a look with top. They've played a Delta and haven't yet fetched. So it's back to us on turn 3. Vexing Bauble means we can't cast spells that don't cost any mana. Yeah, you'll know if you've seen the first few turns of this as to whether I have the footage of it, sort of thing. But anyway, let's take our draw step, and it looks like it's going to be quite an easy play Collector Roof turn for us here. So I can activate first, right? I just die to Whole Breacher if I do that. I don't think that's worth the risk. Let's play Boseiju. Let's cast Collector Roof. They've got 1 card in hand. It could be a plow or something, but it looks good as a place to be against this stuff. That puts them down to 2 mana. If they're floating a PO, then man, I don't think it can be floating a PO. You just PO'd last turn, right? Like this 1 card in hand could just be a Stranded Mox. They're going to take a look with their top. What did they force of all from me? Oh, they forced a little misstep on Soul Ring. Is what they forced. Okay, so opponent's struggling with this idea. At the moment. I know I could have had a Bloodghast, an Acclimate, I could have played a Hogak, but I felt like that was all a bit risky. What did I think I wasn't playing around if I did that? Oh, Hole Breacher. That was it. I was concerned about Hole Breacher, which I think makes sense. So they fetched and now they're POing. So they did float a PO. Okay. And they've got 8 cards in hand. Half of those are artifacts. Did you find a Force of Will? No. Cool. So now we'll activate our Bazaar. Lizards are good. Yep. Lizards are great. So we'll cast the green one. AggroVine comes back. Obviously our opponent can like try and go off here and get us pretty good. But we've got Hogak, AggroVine, Collector Roof in play. They're at 14, they're dead on board. So they need a very good turn through Chalice, through Collector Roof. I imagine it just starts off with Plough Your Oof. They just drew 50 cards, so. But we've done our thing, right? It's their turn 3, and this is our board state. 2 disruptive pieces and a bunch of power. I was very fortunate on that Bazaar activation. I did only need 1 lizard, I've got 8, but it was still quite a fortunate thing to happen. I could have guaranteed it by playing headfirst into the Hole Breacher that I tried to play around. I don't know if they have Hole Breacher in their deck, but they usually do have 1 or 2, don't they, in these blue-white tinker lists. And in that spot, if I activate discarding the Bloodghast, yeah, I would have cast the 2 lizards into the Bauble, but it would have been an absolute disaster, right? If that gets Hole Breachered. So I think the slower, slightly more conservative line was better, if you ask me. So now it's up to the opponent to see if they can overcome our sort of onslaught of little shitters, really. Talking of little shitters, is this a city then? No. What a weird card. What a weird card. Okay. Opponent in the tank. Deeper than ever. Is it like 9 cards and you've drawn so many but you haven't drawn a single plough or a single Force of Will in that whole thing? Or is it just a like definite, or maybe they're just killing me and they just need to make sure they've got like the mana right or something? I don't know. Like Plough, deploy everything and then no, they're just dead. Sweet. More thievery from AggroVine. So we need the disenchants because they're going to be tinkering for Sphinx later. I do want the dismembers because that's going to kill another dismember. I don't know if I want both. Because that will kill Lavinia and Hole Breacher. And then we've got some traps possibly. Chalice remains good even though... Chalice remains good. Hex Drinker. Questionable. I don't know if I'm supposed to be max figures. I feel like I've spoiled myself over the last little while. I think the Haywire Might's still good actually. Is that true? Yeah, I mean that comes into play and kills an oof, not an oof for Bauble, doesn't it? So if I do this, what does this look like? This looks like I'm very stock AggroVine pre-boarded with a fucking haywire might in my deck. So I think I can do this better. I don't think currency converter is better when I'm trying to maximise my collector roof, is it? Maybe this is fine. These traps are always weird, because they might not be the most, like, 20 spells in a turn gamer, you know, they might just be out there double spelling me every turn. We'll see how this game goes and see if we want the traps game 3. If there is a game 3. That is. So, because I could see those traps are supposed to just be like Bloodgusts and the Hogakian sort of thing, just something that's proactive and useful on the board. That's always the concern, right? Is you just make your deck too reactive, and then my cards are both reactive and conditional. Whereas Bloodgast isn't really, is it? It's just you discard it, and then as the game develops, it comes back, and maybe that's actually where I want to be. It's just getting all that incidental value. So here we've got a bunch of cards we can't cast. No lands that produce mana. We could do the reanimator thing, take the draw, discard to hand size, and then that means on turn 2 I would have accelerated to 1 mana. Right, so down to 6 we go. Down to 5. This continues to be shit. There's powder this, hiding trap, they can't see that, hiding vigor, they can't see that. Okay, maybe they can see the trap. This hand still doesn't do anything, does it? Alright. Sometimes you mulligan to 4. Powder. Bizarre. Lizard? Then we go Forest, Wasteland, Collect Roof. That's slow as shit. We can lock out all their artifacts and then we'll have a Besaiger in hand to kill their Sphinx with. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna get rid of Wasteland and I'm gonna get rid of Forest. I don't know, maybe I can still get rid of the Lizard. I can still just like lead Forest on 1 or some shit and build up from there. I don't know. That Lotus Saga hand looks awful, doesn't it? And our opponent's pre-weighted to be keeping a hand with Wasteland in it. So, just going Saga, Lotus, go, get wasted and die is the same as, you know, play Bizarre, don't have any discard equity, get wasted and die. I don't know, it sounds the same, except my land this time round is better if I don't get wasted. I can't use it for a couple of turns, same with Saga, but... So what's our record in this league as well? 2-1, 9 games, full value. Opponents here, they've got a Misty Rainforest. An effect, I don't love that. I don't love that. Okay, Ponder, fine. So after Ponder, they'll have their 6 cards back. And then hopefully nothing to deploy. But this is one of those ones where you just gotta appreciate the fact that like your first few hands were not playable due to the nature of the way you built your deck, and then yeah, and then here we are. Let's just play Forest. So I don't have the discards for Bazaar, right? I picked up a Cradle, but I think I get better discards next turn. My Lotus is gone, right? Oh no, my Lotus is still in my deck. I didn't powder that hand. Funny. And then we're just going to try and play a turn 2 Collector Reef, I think. This year playing a turn 2 Collector Reef is that at the moment I'm committing my Beseiju to the battlefield, which doesn't do too well against the Sphinx of the Steel Wind. They're probably going to play this game as a Saga as well. Dirty stuff. Dirty stuff. So no plays. Right. So then we can get a forcible out of them. They'll play Dismember. Oh no. It's just a Hull Breacher. Repeal. Okay, interesting. Repeal for X equals 2. Saga Binks up to 2. Mana Vault. Tundra. Let's cast the Youth. They've got the forcible this time around. Pitching PO. And I'll pass their end step. So they've got 2 cards in hand. I'll pass to our end step before I activate, I think. So they're going to tap these lands. Or they're going to tap this. Yeah, so they don't have the Hull Breacher in hand at the moment. That was all shit. I just got the Vigor. Hull Beseiju Dismember. So there was a weird line there where they were able to just tap their Mana Vault to make their tokens. And if they did that, it was like the clearest indication that we cannot activate this Bazaar of Baghdad, right? So who's got 3 cards in hand, they're going to tutor for a 0. Vexing Bauble's fine. So they get him for 5. Let's cast a Dismember. And I think I've got to Beseiju on the other token, right? And that gets the cards out of my hand, and I can activate my Bazaar just for the memes. Opponent in the tank about this one as well. A good little think over there. I don't like using all of my Beseijus this early, but maybe I can just play Beseiju, keep Beseiju, and pass. I think I can take 4 more and see what they do with their life. This might be a bit too telegraphed as a Beseiju though. Or it just looks stupid to my opponent. It depends on what they think of me, I think. You know. If they think I'm an idiot, then maybe they just think I'm an idiot and that was just... I didn't realise they were legendary. Maybe we can hope for that. They've got a Brainstorm over there. Maybe I should have done this in response actually, because now I'm going to shuffle off their Brainstorm. Yeah, whoops. So Flood Strand. We've already got the fetch there if they want it. I'm going to take my 4 here, I think. And now I will Besage. Maybe I'll Besage the Bauble instead, actually. Besage the Bauble and then have an operational deck. That seems way better, actually. So let's go Besage your Bauble. And activate my Bazaar. Oh, why did I do that in response? Have I ever been more stupid? But literally the nut low timing. Why did I do this? That's okay, it doesn't matter. We didn't get punished. Phew. I'm not sure what happened there. I think I just... Yeah, so Vengevine. That's nice. Nice for the future. So what, I take 4 next turn. I take 3 next turn. We've got 3 cards in hand. Yeah, I think we've got to just hold this Haywire Might, haven't we? There's 2 Vengevines in my graveyard. That seems like a great way into the game. Holding the Might gives us some selection next turn. If they walk, they walk. Good on them. Oh no, it looks like they just PO instead. Okay. That's only a draw 3 actually. We might be able to present something, but we're dead to like a DT. Ancestral's good as well, yeah. I'll give you that. Interesting that they attacked first, right? Like, if we're POing, then we have really good outs to get back up to a lethal damage range. Unless my opponent already has the walk and they're just having fun. Needle. Name's Bazaar. Okay. So, Needle Name's Bazaar. 1-drop's a 1-drop, so... Let's cast a Haywire Might. Force of Will. Okay. Blizzard. We get some Vengevines back. We can only realistically send with one of these, can't we? In we go. Maybe I should have sent with both. They've got 3 cards in hand. Although I've not put a creature in play yet this game, so they can very easily have a plow, right? Yeah, I'm not sure how... I should have attacked with both, really. I'm not sure how else I'm winning this game otherwise. They've got a lot of basic islands over there. And then... Blackened Mana Vault traditionally means like a Yawgmoth's Wool or something. Or a Demonic Tutor. Yawgmoth's Will. That's going to be Ancestral, Brainstorm, Fetchland, Repeal, Ponder, Brainstorm, PO. I think we're behind. Yeah. I think we are behind. It's interesting though that we have matched them in cards throughout this game. Like, We've both got like 34 cards left in our deck. We kind of like managed to keep up through our Bazaar in some weird way, I think. Oh no, I just powdered them all away, that was it. What an idiot. Right, opponent POs for 50 billion. It was only a PO for 4 actually. I'm not sure how much of this game we need to really play, but everyone always targets themselves with Ancestral. It's always very, very selfish. Selfish play. Never sharing the cards about. I could do with some. My opponent knows that, so be generous. It's been a while since PA's been able to do PO things, though, isn't it? They can retire all their ancient tombs and get their underground seas back out. Although people were playing Initiative Tinker towards the end of that last format as well. Yeah, I think I really needed to attack with both Vengevines and Prey last turn. That would have only put them down to 10. Oh, repeal a Vengevine, sure. Yeah, we can't win this game, but we'll let them kill us. Plough a Lizard, or good plough art as well. Cool. Is there something we'd rather do? I don't think I believe in the traps, to be honest with you. I think they're a bit too... I think they're a bit too, like, mid-rangey. I think I'm going to have my 3 Bloodghast, I'm not going to have my Hogak. Yeah. Loam could be really slow. But the thing with Loam is if we get the Oof Loam going, then it's kind of... That's a mid and late game that can favour us. Yeah. Okay, nerds. So, I fucked up something. Game 3 versus Scala 94. Replay time. So we're on the place, we just lost that last one. I don't know what's happened because we're multiple time periods later. And we open up with this beautiful 7 here, where it looks like it's just a flip for a lizard or a hollow one to get things going. So I presume it's play Bazaar. Yeah, it's got to be. So we play the Bazaar, give it a spin. We find Oof, Lizard, Vengevine. And obviously this is me one day removed from the recording of this match. Looking at this, there's 2 options that I like. I like discarding Powder, Vengevine, Vengevine, or I like discarding Vengevine, Vengevine, Lizard. The reason I like discarding the Lizard is it unlocks our Dismember next turn if we need it. I don't know what I go for. I think I prefer that and keeping the Powder for later, but we've always got the Oof green card if we really disastrously need it, but we'll be trying to build this Oof as well. So I think I right now like discarding Lizard, Vengevine, Vengevine, but I could see Vengevine, Vengevine, Powder, and then cross your fingers, right? Cross your fingers and hope you don't get wastelanded. So let's see what we end up on. Looks like I've selected a Powder, okay. So Powder selected, Powder goes away, so I can see this as well. I hate the replay. So yeah, I can see this as well. It's activate Bazaar, it's cross your fingers. Next turn we're going to activate again. And then we'll be discarding the Lizard 100% no matter what happens. And then the Lizard's going to give us outs to drawing, if it's in my deck, Hex Drinker, Haywire Mite, Lotus Emerald, right? Or just another Lizard or another hollow one. So let's see what our opponent can start off with here, because that's going to dictate a lot. That's not a wasteland, so that's pretty good for the home team. Emerald means that we have to consider like Bowmasters maybe. Jet now means we need to consider Hole Breacher. Sapphire means that we could just die to a PO. Arguments for Vigoring now. Arguments for Vigouring now means that if we kill Jet Sapphire, they can't have Hull Breacher in response. That's pretty compelling. We don't do it. Okay. I think there's an argument there. But then the issue with that is I still don't have mana, right? So maybe that's what I talked myself out of, is I don't have mana, so why bother discarding my oof? So we draw a Wasteland, which is possibly a big draw. But I'm pretty sure we just have to go back into the Wishing Well here and try and find something else to do. So big long think apparently. It's not doing anything. I think you just have to jam. Well, no, you can go Wasteland Jam, right? Wasteland Jam is really good. You slow down on your oof, but you play around the Hull Breacher really hard. So I think I like Wasteland Jam here. Let's see what we do. Wasteland Jam, and then we hit the world as well. Look at this. No Hull Breacher, so we can discard like Lizard, Vigor, and 1. We would have made a land drop, so Lizard, Vigor, Cradle. Bring back 2 Vengevines. Yeah, I like that. Lizard, Vigor, Cradle goes. Yeah, cool. Lizard, Vigor, Cradle, and then we can cast Hollow 1. Bring back 2 Vengevines. Attack for a bunch. Yeah. Attack for a bunch, and then cast a post-combat oof. One big problem with oof though, I'm still casting it 100%. No questions asked. But one problem with oof is if this looks like they're either POing really hard, right, or the other issue is if they are just slow rolling a Tabernacle at Pendle Vale until I commit, and playing the oof commits my Wasteland, which means I can only pay for Collect Roof, or if I'm able to stack my triggers correctly off Tabernacle at Pendle Vale, I can pay for Vengevine, Hollow 1, something like that. Where they're taking 8 this turn, I don't know what the answer is to that, but I think we still have to deploy the oof, right? Triple Stone Rain is a bit strong. So yeah, and it gets through as well. So now opponent has the information to fetch, they can get a Tundra, and then they can just plow my oof, and happy as you like. So well played by the opponent to just take the 8 damage, not plow one of my dudes, and play around Collector Roof. But they are under the gun here, so this looks like a PO to me. Yep, so they PO for 3. We're completely defenseless. They find a Vexing Bauble, and cycle Vexing Bauble, which isn't very good. Sapphire, Lotus, Underground Sea, and a Path of the turn. So we fade the absolute nightmare scenario of... We fade the absolute nightmare scenario of them having the Tabernacle there. We draw a Wasteland for the turn. No reason for us to go into the Bazaar here. So we can just attack with everything. And looks like that's what we do. Opponent is dead to this attack, so in we pop. And they do have the Hull Breacher that we've been thinking about for the last 2 hours in this marathon long game. We've got the Dismember and our opponent dies. Okay, so round 5 of AggroVine, and we're up against Ondaval, who I've played recently but I can't remember. We've won a die roll. One thing I do want to check, watch out, bright screen incoming. One thing I do want to check is how many of these games were play or draw. So we've had the full 12 matches of value, or 12 games of value so far. They've all been 2-1. So what they reveal? They revealed Lurus of the Dream Den. Okay. We can't keep this. We can keep this. Whew. Talk to me. So 2 lizards go away. Maybe 1 lizard and 2 Vengevines, we'll see. And then next turn we can just dismember their frog and meme. Or the Gak can go. Okay. We can't cast the Hogak because we don't have the colours for Hogak. But this looks like a brilliant start. I think. Nice little bit of, 10 power on 1. Attacking for 12 on turn 2. Opponent immediately thinks, I imagine they're going to force of will the hollow one. You can't counter these guys. This is a hollow one. We've got a second Bazaar as well. We need to be careful with how we activate our Bazaars the moment they play a Mox, because they are... So force of will, pitching, force negation. You got more of those over there, buddy? Nope. Because they are going to be a Bowman deck. So we need to be careful in that respect about how hard we get wrathed. So we'll probably always activate Bazaar when we've got 1 floating from our cradle to be casting our Dismember. They now know about our Dismember and our secondary Bazaar. Opponent's got 6 cards in hand. Lurus in exile. Our board's a bit weaker now that the second dude didn't resolve, or the first dude didn't resolve, but I think it's still a healthy position. Tropical Island, okay, so it's like a bug list. And they're ancestral themselves, yeah, sure. And they are bugs, so they've still got usually another average 2.5 pieces of power in their opener after the first one. There's one of them. There should be a little bit more from them here. This means they've got the Boatman available. So I think I'll attack. Play Cradle and attack. And then go for the pump at some point, and if they Bowmaster in response to that, maybe we can dismember the Bowmaster there. So we're definitely not out of the woods here. My Kingdom for a Collector Reflow just to peel off the top here. Currency Converter. I can play Cradle and attack. I'm just going to get in my 6, and then I'm going to convert some currency. And then I'm going to try and work out how to play. Maybe not. I just take it. Okay. Play this for now then. This might get a response out of them, I don't know. I'm still drawing the cards, right? So yeah, let's get through. So right, so I activate, they play Bowmaster, they get 3 pings, all my lizards go away. I'm still going to do it. Okay, they've just got nothing. I've played a land this turn. Let's discard these 3. And exile just the powder, I guess. Oh no, I want to exile one of the lands. Because then I can have Dismember up on their turn. The other land I might leave behind. So I've got faster Hogax. I'm not going to loot because I want to have access to my Dismember on their turn, and I want to have access to a 2/2. on their end step as well for extra power and toughness. Because the 2/2 doesn't quite present lethal though, does it? 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, no. So fetch land and I'm presenting lethal on this board state as is. The converter's dope, man. It's so cool. So another trop is interesting. There's a Deathrite Shaman. Is that enough to draw out my Dismember? We can be a bit sneaky, actually. No, I don't think it is enough to draw out my Dismember, because I can make a 2/2 on my turn, on their turn, and then on their ends, and then I can attack with Hollow One and Blazing, and look like I'm about to unearth a Hogak. And then if they block the Blazing, we can make a treasure off the Wasteland and crack it for red. I'll still have my Cradle untapped, and then their Deathrite Shaman shall die to a 3/1 Blazing. But if I attack with everyone, actually, then they've just got a chump to do that exact same play, right? But then I'm dying really hard to Bowmaster. So how many resources can I commit to not dying to a Bowmaster? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question right now. But I'm genuinely presenting lethal through a no block here. They might be thinking about whether they want to crack their Lotus for a walk, if this is all they've got, because then they get their Deathrite on, and then my Hogak gets eaten. So here comes some black mana. Assassin's Trophy. It's going to target Hollow One. Okay, do I have the Forest main deck today? Oh yeah. And then they'll cast the Soul Ring, okay. And then they'll cast either buy Lurus or they'll cast their Bowman. If they buy Lurus, it's great for us. Nothing. Not even the purchase. Okay, well in that case, I'll play Powder. Let's start with Dismember on your guy. How much damage have I got here? 3, 6, 8, they're at 11. So let's Dismember the Deathrite Shaman. I got through. We'll make a treasure. I don't know if this was the most optimal way of doing things, to be honest with you. We'll cast... We'll float a red. We'll cast an oof. We'll flip a Bazaar. Oh. Alright then. And then we're going to pump this lizard, attack for 5 with Rogue Token and Blazing, cast a Hogak, and blah blah blah. So yeah, 2 lizards come into play. I was flipping just in case I found a Vengevine, because I was about to cast a Hogak. And that would have been very good. But it's, yeah. Tap Basking and Rogue Token. No, Basking and Collect Roof to cast Hogak. Hogak comes into play, we attack for 5. They fall to 6, and then they've got 1 turn, 3 cards, and a board that they just can't really ever beat. So that was good. I think I want more of the dismembers, please. I think that looks good. They are a wasteland deck, so maybe 2 dismembers and a Besage you can come in. I might cut the figure. I don't know how nonsense that is. Hexdrinkers seem good. Bloodgusts seem fine. Chalice seems bad. I need 1 cut from this nonsense, so maybe I can just cut a Bloodgust and be done. Everything else seems like nice and mid-rangey. Yeah, that went well. The main deck dismember's been doing some work, hasn't it? Yeah. The main deck dismember has been doing some work. Okay, game 2. Yeah, game 2 here. This is a dodgy one, because our lands don't produce mana, but we do have a Bazaar. So, let's see what the opponent's got. We've also got the Strip Mine. But if we can just get like a single lizard and start building, that would probably be good. As if the lizard resolves and survives and blah blah blah. So Delta, they mulligan to 5? This could be like a needle. Drop. Deathright, okay. Dismember. They've got 3 cards in hand, right? Like, kill that. They've mulliganed to 5. We're gonna strip mine them. Underground Sea. Maybe we're not gonna strip mine them. I know we kind of have to. You'd sorcery speed a Bowmaster here, right? If you've got one. DT, okay. DT for hot and fre. What are you DTing for? A bauble? A needle? I'm not sure. You have my Cradle of Growth. I can just play that, right? I can either get in a Bazaar activation. So we can get in a Bazaar, but none of my cards are particularly discardy, right? Other than the other Bazaar. So I'm just going to go Cradle Oof. So I don't know what they would have DT'd for. I presume Ancestral. This is just asking different questions to usual. And we can slow roll the Bazaar until we need it. They've got 6 cards in hand though, so no, maybe we do need it. I don't know. But if they don't make a land drop here, we can just play Hexdrinker and make it a 4/4. So they need land mocks now to get onto Bowman. And if not, they're not able to do that, we're going to have a very ultimate Hexdrinker relatively soon. Yeah, this looks fine. Do they know a hand? No, they haven't probed us yet. So Tropical Island. And a Vexing Bauble, sure. Okay, so the Bauble kind of defeats the Bazaar in its own little way. Currency Converter kind of defeats the Bazaar in its own little way. But I'm going to go first of all for, or defeats the Bauble in its own little way. I mean, I'm going to go for a Hexdrinker here. And now I'm going to level up the Hexdrinker. So that's a 4/4. Doesn't die to push. Doesn't die to long goodbye. Oh, the converter doesn't beat the bauble because I've got the oof in play. Opponent's on 4 cards. I don't know what they play that can defeat a Hex Drinker from this spot. I've got to the protection from instant stage. I'm going to be level 8 next turn. That's a wasteland, so that's going to actually change the equation ever so slightly by a turn. So I'll hit my Cradle, which will be 2 of the 5 requisite mana I need. Four cards. Obviously they've still got Lurus in the board, which they can go and collect. Maybe the Oofs aren't good in this matchup. Maybe I'm supposed to have like Endurance or something. There's also a chance that I've just played this game badly and I'm supposed to just be like, kill your Deathrite, get on Bazaar because you mulligan, so I use my big good card advantage rather than playing this, you know, similar game plan to them of play creatures and interact in minor ways. Maybe I've like, even though they mulligan to 4, maybe I've evened the playing field a bit too much, like on a strategic level, I don't know. But it just seemed so good, didn't it, that none of my cards really care about being discarded. I've got my mid-rangey, I cast these threats and the lands to do it, so why don't I play the cards I've got rather than moving on to a different game plan that I'm not sure gets there. I'm sure it would have. I'm also playing around Bowmasters really hard this way, so I don't disagree with the things I've done, but it could be like strategically incorrect when your opponent's mulliganed so low to have good on. I don't know what they mulliganed for. They can't have mulliganed to Deathrite because that card's not particularly impressive. Well, it is, but it's, you know what I mean. It's not worth going to 4 or 5/4. I can't remember what they mulliganed to. So opponents cast a Brainstorm after playing a land drop, which means they need like a Lorien Revealed or something to get out. I imagine you're just going to wasteland me though. Wasteland my Cradle and carry on with your day. The problem with wasteland on Cradle is it means that I can strip mine your sea and take you off black if I was so, you know, fanciful of doing such a thing. I don't know, we've kind of put the hammer on them. The moment they deal with their oof though, our bazaars do kind of go off because of the converter. So even if the bauble stays in play, the converter can do stuff. The one thing with the converter is how does madness and converter work? I don't think I can ever get the lizards under the converter. I think the lizards are always in exile, and the converter always resolves second, or always resolves first. So they trophy my oof. So I do get a forest for my troubles. Basic forest is so cracked in this deck. And then you wasteland my Cradle. Oh, maybe not. Maybe you wasteland my Strip Mine. I need to play a Soul Ring. Okay. What can you have? What in this game and in this format beats a Hex Drinker here? I don't know, but I'm doing it. I don't think there's anything. Especially not for colourless, right? So we've got a 6/6 Progenitus, and the world is our oyster going forwards. So Vault Key beats 6/6. But do the Deathrite lists play Vault Key? I think they do, because I think they're Collector Reef builds. Usually. I think main deck, our opponent would have had Collector Reefs. Two cards, 7 mana, so they can lure us Deathrite. That's leaving me with an exceptional amount of cards as well. It also taps them out. They've got nothing. What the hell is that? Let's feed them a Saga to start with. I've got the Evermire, so I can tap it for green if they wasteland me off the mana. They do not. Let's cast a Vengevine going green, 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 green. This might require a counter spell, I don't know. And then we'll cast a Currency Converter. I'm presuming there's a Bowmaster here. I don't know what else makes sense. I'm not sure why we didn't buy Lurus last turn. But playing like this means we get the Bowmaster onto the stack before we activate the Bazaar. This has protection from everything. It's just a Vengevine. Do you have two of them? Is that the joke? I can't cast the Hollow One because of the Bauble, so I'm just going to discard the Hollow One. This will give me mana, this will give me tokens going forwards. I'll exile all of it. I'm not too worried about the size and shape of my graveyard at the moment. It's only the one Hogak that makes us consider that sort of thing. So Bowmaster's going to come in. Next turn they're going to have Lurus plus Bowmaster if they've got a land behind, right? Yeah. But none of this deals with the snake. So they're going to trade off with... Oh, so that's interesting, actually. Maybe... Yeah, because they trade off with Vengevine here, right? They block everything on Vengevine, and then I could have just cast my Hollow One. Because you're only pinging here if you're double blocking Vengevine. Yeah. So I've missed out on a Vengevine. But my opponent's on 5, I've got a Progenitus, I've got Currency Converter to start going wide with. My Urza's Saga is going to get thick next turn. Yeah, I would cycle that too. I think that's a good idea. I'll Dress Down. Can get out of counters. Dress Down Fatal Push. And they die. Nice. So we're going 4-1 with AggroVine. That was a lot of fun as well. It was an enjoyable sort of league. The main deck dismember did a lot of heavy lifting. I'm not sure how many of those vigors are required these days. There was definitely spots where it was great. I have played 2 leagues with this deck now. One of them I did go 2-3. The other one I went 4-1. Currency Converter and Saga were cool. I enjoyed that a lot. Loam always overperforms for me in this list. There's just matchups in games where suddenly the fact that you've got loam really overpowers your opponent, especially with how mid-rangey the format can be at this point in time. Obviously, there's still, there's Duel, there's Doomsday, there's, to another extent, there's just like the prison shops where you just die. But at the moment, you get into like the mid-range grind fest against these Loris and big blue decks, and all of a sudden, loam is a cracker sort of thing. So, that's going to do for today. That was a lot of fun. This little saga package, unsure if it's required, but I feel like the currency converter showed us that it's potentially like worth a slot in itself, and that's the one saga is not a lot of difficulty. Like, it's not hard, right? The one saga is easy to get to. I like the Bloodghast. I don't know if we need 3. I like the Hogak. I don't know if we need it. Vigors. I don't know how many we should be playing across 75, across main and board, because one of the main strategies of people at the moment is to get that Bauble into play still, apparently. So we've got 4 Bessages across the list. Should it be like, I don't know, 2 Vigors in the sideboard and then have like a Nature's Claim or some shit? I don't know. Anyway, AggroVine League complete, 4-1. Thanks for watching. See you again.